Sis, I'm leaving home tonight. I've decided to get married. Huh? Wait a minute, Samantha. What are you suddenly saying? What do you mean? I decided to get married because I want to be with him. I know you wouldn't understand, but it is happening. Samantha, don't think so easily. You've only been dating him for 2 weeks. You don't know him well yet. Mom and Dad are worried about you. That worry is unnecessary. He's a sweet guy. He'll take good care of me. You've never even seen him before, have you? That's not why I'm saying. It takes time to get to know each other. Go out and get to know him more before you make an important decision. I've already made up my mind. I'm going to be happy with him. I don't care what my family says. Samantha, I beg you, don't be hasty. Marriage is a major life decision. I'm fed up with this, you know that? You don't believe in me and you don't support me. That's why I decided to leave. Once you get married, there's no turning back, you know? There's no way I'm going back. I'm starting a new life with him. No one can stop me. Samantha, please, just take a deep breath for a sec. Are you sure you want to do this? I don't want to hear that kind of nonsense. I'm going to live my life. You don't know me one bit. You didn't have to decide so fast. What's so attractive about him? He's a man with a dream, and I want to pursue that dream with him. You can't live on dreams alone. You have to be realistic. Marriage can't be just about dreams, okay? I don't care what you say. I just want to be with him. Are you sure that's what you want? You won't regret it? How can I regret it? I'm getting married with a man who I'm in love with. Well then, see ya. Hey, how are you doing? It's been a while. What? This is your sister, Samantha. I wonder if you're still single and working hard. What is it with you all of a sudden? Don't you think you're being a little rude? Are you and your husband getting along? He only drops me a text once in a while. He says all you want to do is complain about him and his mother. And you haven't come home for 2 years since Dad's funeral. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking of going home this weekend. Even though you didn't come back no matter how many times I told you? What on earth do you want? I didn't go home because it was such a hassle to go home. Such a hassle? I see. So, what? What made you decide to come home this time? Oh, I'm not just coming home. Huh? I'm going to live there from now on. What do you mean? Well, I divorced my husband. What? Divorced? What happened in the last 2 years? After 2 years, it's no surprise that many things have happened, right? Yes, but... So you're saying you're leaving your husband? Hey, don't talk like that. But that's the way it is. Samantha, what the hell did you do? What? Are you assuming that I did something wrong? You're always doing something wrong. I can only assume that you had a problem. If anything happens, you always assume it's me who did something wrong, and I'm sick of it. Oh, really? So this time it's different? It's... What? My husband found out I had a boyfriend, and we got divorced. What? No wonder you got divorced. How long are you going to live your self-centered life? It's over now, so why don't you just let it go? Anyway, I'm going to ask you something important. What did you do about the alimony? Huh? Of course he charged you, didn't he? Because of your affair. Oh, I was told that alimony would be paid with division of property. So it's not like you owe him a debt? Why are you asking me that? Because I don't want you to come back with a lot of debt. You'll definitely come crying to me for help paying off the debt, won't you? I'm definitely not going to help you with the money. Don't worry. I'm not going to ask you for money. I won't do that. Anyway, are you sure you don't owe him any money? Yes, I'm sure. Don't expect me to help you out if you lied to me about this. Okay. Okay, have you talked to Mom yet? Not yet. Well, you better tell her the truth before you come back here. Also, there's no room for you when you get back. What? What do you mean there's no room for me? I have a room, but it's full of stuff. And the other rooms are full of stuff as well. Most of it is stuff you left here when you got married. So, I have to clean my stuff up, fine. Also, my husband lives here too. Oh, does he? Please don't do anything to bother my husband. Okay. Hey, I have a question. What is it? I don't know your husband very well. What does he do? Samantha, did you not listen to me again? How many times have I told you? Did you tell me about him? I can't really remember. My husband is a web designer. Before we got married, he studied design all over the world. He's unique and has great designing skills. He's freelance now, so he works from home. Oh, I knew it. Huh? He is just playing all day. What are you talking about? Pretending to work and playing computer games, right? No, he's not. My husband is working diligently. Well, anyway, I want to ask you guys to leave the house. What are you talking about all of a sudden? Actually, I'm about to get married to my boyfriend. Boyfriend? You mean the one you cheated on your ex-husband? I thought you broke up with him. Of course not. It doesn't matter. We're both single now. So you guys are getting married and you want us to leave? What does you getting married got to do with us? He said he can't go back to his parents' house anymore. So he decided to stay with us when we get married. I don't understand. It's pretty simple. If you leave, everything will be fine. No, in that case, why don't you leave? Why? Mom and I don't have good feelings about you cheating and getting divorced. And we don't really want to live with someone who would cheat on their partner, you know? What are you talking about? He's a very nice guy. I've heard that before. Then what's the problem? You can get married if you want, but living together is another matter, and I don't want to get involved in it. And since you've been back here for 2 months, you don't seem to be working, just hanging around at home. And when you do go out sometimes, you just beg Mom for pocket money and play. It's not good for Mom to give you allowance because of your persistence, but it's not good for you either. But if you want to continue to live your life with Mom's money, who lives on a pension, then you need to leave. Are you talking about me? Of course I am. It's the same for you and your husband too, isn't it? Huh? You guys started living in this house right after Dad's funeral. That means you were counting on Dad's inheritance and Mom's pension. You guys are living comfortably. Huh? What are you talking about? For the past 2 years, you have been enjoying yourself and having a good time. So now it's my turn. Are you out of your mind? We started living together because we were worried about Mom being left alone. We even cover our own living expenses. Besides, Dad was just an ordinary business person. Do you think he had a huge fortune to live on? You took advantage of the fact that I was away from home and didn't know what was going on. I'm sure Mom and you took my share of the inheritance as well. We went through the proper legal process with a lawyer for the inheritance, so there's absolutely no way that could be true. That's an absolute lie. Don't mock me. I know that much. The fact that you're living happily right now is clear proof of that. I can't talk to you like this. We're making a good living out of our income. Anyway, my boyfriend and I are going to live there, and you are going to move out. I'm sure you'll only be able to move into a shitty house anyway. But you've had a good time so far, so you can't really blame us. My boyfriend and I have taken over the house, so get out. We don't need someone like you in the house. Oh my goodness. Samantha, we've decided to leave, just like you wanted. That's great, sister. You're a fast learner. That's a big help. Your boyfriend is coming here on the same date as planned, right? That's right. We're going on our honeymoon for 5 days from the day he arrives, so I hope you're gone by then. Okay. I'm leaving home now. Great! I'll be enjoying the resort with my boyfriend, now husband. The hotel spa is awesome. Sounds like fun. Okay, bye. We're leaving now. Don't come back. From now on, my husband and I are going to live happily on Dad's inheritance. What the hell is this? Answer me! What is it? I can't get into the house. And there's a sign on the front door that says, "Tenants wanted." It's you, isn't it? What's going on? Oh, about that? That house will be a rental from now on. What? A rental? Why? Because we're moving out and they're looking for new tenants. I don't know what you're talking about. When I was in elementary school, Dad said he bought the house. This house is our house, right? Well, it's a little different. It wasn't Dad who bought it. It was Grandpa, Mom's father, who bought the house. Huh? Grandpa? What do you mean? You know, Grandpa is a real estate agent. He bought this house as a wedding gift for Mom and Dad. What? That's the first I've heard of that. At first, there was talk of putting it in Dad's name. But then, the company he works for went bankrupt, and he just changed jobs, so he was worried about the income. In the end, they didn't change the name of the house. So the house was and still is in Grandpa's name. Really? No way! Besides, our uncle is supposed to inherit the house eventually. What? I didn't hear that. Wait a minute. If he does that, me, my husband, and Mom won't have a place to live. What are you talking about? Mom moved out with us. Huh? Mom moved with us to a new place. You didn't know that? Are you still trying to enjoy using Dad's inheritance? That's not fair. We're living off the money we earn from our jobs. Your husband just plays with his computer. You know, he does design on the computer and that's his job. I'm sure he's not making much money because he's just doing it as part of his hobby. Is $20,000 a month not enough? $20,000? Stop lying, sis. It's the sum of my income and my husband's income. It varies from month to month, but on average, it's about that much. What does that mean? You and your husband make that much money? I can't believe it. You don't have to believe it, but it's true. We're going to live in a new, spacious, and beautiful house, so don't worry about us. Wait a minute. We'll have no place to live. What are we going to do? That's for you to think about, isn't it? We've already moved out and Mom is with us, so don't worry. That's so irresponsible. You are really sneaky. We are not cheating in any way. We're working and living on our own. Don't depend on other people's money like that. What on earth are you talking about? I'm your family, so I can depend on you a little bit, can't I? That's enough, Samantha. You have to get by on your own without us. You're an adult now. I'm an adult, and I'm going to make it work with him. But we can't start without a place to live. Then you have to find a new place for yourselves. Don't even think about relying on us. It's not like your family's going to take care of everything. But we just got back from our honeymoon. We haven't prepared anything yet. If you just got back from your honeymoon, you're on your own even more. It's your responsibility to start a new life. Don't be so irresponsible. What are we supposed to do when you're gone? I think you have to think and act on your own. That's what we've been doing too. You're really irresponsible, you know that? I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Wait a minute. Sis, help me. We're really at our limit. Please listen to me. What is it now? We can't find a place to live. He can't find a job, and I can only do short-term work. We can't afford the rent, and I don't know what to do. You guys got married without a job? Because I thought I had the house and an inheritance, so I thought money would be no problem. I can't believe it. That's your problem now, isn't it? You'll have to solve it yourselves. I know, but we don't have any money and there's nothing we can do. Please, sis, can you at least lend me some money? Why should I help you? We were kicked out of our house by you, remember? We can't just give you money. So why don't you just let us stay in your house for a little while? He and I will both find jobs soon. Just until then. It's not that easy. Our house is limited, and if we allow such a thing to happen, it will happen again. But he's getting more and more impatient, and if we don't do something, we'll both end up on the street. That's your fault, isn't it? You guys have to do something about it on your own. If you're going to be lost, then be lost. Don't be so cold. We only have you to rely on. Sis, I promise I won't bother you, please. No. Oh my. If we get involved in your problems, it won't end well. So you'll have to take care of it yourselves. I don't know what to do. I don't care. You're gonna have to face reality and face it yourself. I can't. He's already given up. What are we going to do? I don't know. You'll have to take care of yourselves. From now on, I'll do whatever you say, sister. I'll do whatever you say. So please. Don't be so naive. Mom and I left home with the intention of getting rid of you. So please don't ever ask me for help again, okay? I'll block you guys after this text. No way, sis? Well, good luck with him. Sis, don't abandon me! After that, his income remained unstable and life was tough for both of them. Samantha continued to work part-time, but it was far from enough to support themselves. He was not able to keep his job either, and they were both mentally devastated. After a while, he began to have affairs. And he left Samantha and moved out. She was left with nothing but debt, and she now spends her days working part-time just to pay it back. I know it sounds harsh, but this is the reality. I hope she can at least pay off her debts. We are living a peaceful life in our new home. My husband and I are balancing work and personal life. My mother is enjoying her new hobbies and fulfilling her life.
Hey, are you Brian's wife? Because I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be taking care of him from now on. But you know that he's always such a wishy-washy guy, so I really hope that you don't blame him. Don't worry though, I'll make sure to make him very, very happy. Sorry, who am I speaking to right now? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, right. I should have introduced myself first. I'm Brian's ex-girlfriend, Miranda. I'm also the person who he's dating the longest out of all the other girls he's known. I'm sure you've heard about me already. Your name is Miranda. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I can't remember Brian ever mentioning knowing a girl like you. Wait, what? You mean that Brian hasn't even mentioned me once? Well, that's still no problem. Maybe he just didn't want you hearing about how close we were as a couple because he didn't want to make you jealous as his current girl. He was probably just hiding you from you because he knew that you didn't even compare. Okay, you seriously need to slow down and stop all of this nonsense. So, your name is Miranda and you're one of Brian's exes, right? Just why are you even reaching out to talk to me in the first place? Why? Well, there's not any particular reason, I guess. I just wanted to know about what kind of girl Brian got with after him and I broke up. He can really have a really interesting taste in women from time to time, so it's my job to make sure that he's making good choices. And you think that that's appropriate for you to do as his ex? I think most people don't do that to people they used to date. I don't remember you telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing, thank you. We might have been broken up, but we're still good friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. All I'm doing is being worried like any good friend would, and I can see that he's picked a very surprising girl to get married to. I thought he would have married someone beautiful, and I have to say that I'm just shocked. And just what is that supposed to mean? Well, I only mentioned because I think I left quite an impact on his taste from when we were dating. I just thought that he would have married someone strong-willed and clever. Someone special, you know. But I guess he just ended up with some totally basic chick. Funny how life works like that, right? Well, I guess that I'm sorry for not being the girl that you expected me to be, but you did just admit that Brian did marry me. So I might not know just how close you two were before, but all of that is in the past, and I hope that you realize all of that. Oh, wow, maybe you're a bit more impressive than I thought. It's almost cute. But I can tell just from this conversation that you're the type of woman who is always trying to solve your husband's problems for him, right? I really, really hate those kinds of girls. You need to be more kind to Brian, but let him spread out his wings on his own, you know? I don't need you telling me how I should be treating my husband, thank you very much. Well, fine. Then congrats on getting married or whatever. Save my number just in case you need a hand with anything in the future. For instance, if you two get into a fight, you can just come to me and I'll make Brian feel better afterwards. After all, I know him better than anyone. And that means that I know how to calm him down better than anyone, including you. Hey, Brian, are you there? I was just curious if you know a woman named Miranda. I think that maybe you two used to date each other.
Miranda? No, I'm sorry, Im, but I don't think I've ever dated a Miranda. Though now that I'm thinking about it, I do have an old friend named Miranda. But we never dated or anything. But what made you want to ask me this all of a sudden?
Well, I think this Miranda girl that you know actually just reached out and messaged me. And she introduced herself as your ex-girlfriend.
Wait, really? That Miranda sent you a message?
Yeah, she said that she was your ex-girlfriend and she was worried about the kind of woman you were married to. And then she went on to say a bunch of other rude things as well. She seemed to really be concerned about how her ex was doing, and she kept talking about you as if she knew you really well. I don't know, I think she was trying to flex on me as your ex or something like that.
Wait just a second. So then, Miranda was really telling you that we used to date?
That's what I said, yes. But now you're telling me that you two never dated, so I don't know what to believe. I don't like whatever is going on and I just want the truth, so be straight with me, Brian.
Emily, I promise you that I'm just as confused as you are. Besides, I was telling the truth when I said that we never ever dated.
You mean it? You two were never a thing at all?
Oh, we were classmates together from middle school on, and even were in the same after-school clubs too. So we did hang out a lot and spend a lot of time together. Though she was always acting more like a fussy mother than she was a friend, you know. She was always trying to do things for me and take care of me.
So then, it sounds like you two were actually quite close then.
Oh, we were. And I will say that other classmates would tease us and say that we looked like a couple, but I'll swear to you that we did not date. I'm not even sure that she looked at me as a potential person to date. I always felt like she saw me as more her kid or something like that.
And you don't know any of other Mirandas from your past that might be lurking around?
As far as I know, that's the only Miranda that I've known. But we both ended up going to different colleges and didn't really keep in touch after that. And ever since then, I don't think I've ever met another Miranda. But I guess she was trying to use our old friendship to try and get something out of you.
But why would she come to me with this when I don't even know who she is? I mean, I've never even seen a picture of this woman. I'll be honest, I was kinda scared.
I'm sorry, Emily. I wasn't trying to make light of this. It's just a bad joke.
Well, I hope you don't mind me asking, but I have to know for myself. You promised me that you and Miranda aren't talking at all right now? And you haven't seen her since finishing high school.
I swear to you, since we both left for college, I haven't spoken to Miranda at all. Wait, that's not entirely true. There was one school reunion for middle school, where her and I were both there, but so were all of our other classmates, and there was so much happening that day that we didn't even really get to talk.
Well then, just why is she coming out of nowhere to bother me? I don't like it. It doesn't feel right.
I agree. It sounds like she's up to something, and I don't like it. I think you and I'll have to just be a little more careful for the time being.
Hello there, Emily. It's been a while since we've last talked, right? How are you? It's me, by the way, Brian's ex, Miranda. Hello, Miranda. Yes, it's been a while since you and I last spoke, hasn't it? May I ask why you're messaging me today? Well, I actually have a really big announcement I just have to tell you. I feel so sorry for you, but I'm overjoyed because Brian and I have gotten back together. And that means that he doesn't need you anymore, so you can just get lost. Excuse me? What are you talking about this time? I mean that I want you to divorce Brian from me right now. After that, him and I can go out and get married. So I'll give you until the end of the day to get all the paperwork done. Are you kidding me right now? Did you really just message me to tell me to leave my husband? And do you really think I buy that you two have gone back together? Can you just leave me alone? I don't have time for this nonsense. Nonsense? And just what makes you think that any of this is nonsense? I know that it's tough to accept, but it's the truth, and you need to face it. Because I am telling you the truth. Brian and I have really gotten back together. Although I always knew that he always still had feelings for me, so I'm not surprised at all. But it was him who came to me asking if we could get back together. Are you serious? You're telling me Brian searched you to be out with you? Well, I'm sure you noticed that this is the first time we talked in a while, right? The reason for that is because after we talked the last time, Brian reached out to me and asked if I liked to meet up with him. So we went out to a bar, just the two of us, had some drinks, and Brian used the liquid courage to confess his feelings for me. But again, I always knew that he'd never given up on me, so I knew it was a matter of time before this happened. I seriously doubt that Brian would ever go and do something like that. And I have no idea when he would have the time to sneak off to a bar to talk to you. Well, of course you wouldn't know about any of this, would you? I mean, do you really think that a husband would just tell his wife that he's going to go out and grab drinks with an ex? So then you're telling me that Brian kept all of that a secret from me and did actually go out to meet you? Not only that, but even though he has a wife, he still confessed having feelings for you. Yes, I'm afraid that you've described it exactly well. I tried to turn him down at first, but I didn't want to be a homewrecker or anything like that. I told him that he had to let go of a beautiful girl like me and just focus on his wife instead. But then he told me that he didn't care what happened to you. So when I realized that he wasn't going to be changing his mind, I had no choice but to get back together with him. Oh, please, don't try to make it sound like you were forced into doing this. And know that I have no intention of hanging Brian over to you and all. Well, you say that, but Brian has already made the decision for himself. So I'm so sorry to ruin your marriage, but it's what Brian wants, and I don't think you have the right to deny him that. I seriously can't believe what I'm hearing right now. Well, it doesn't matter whether or not you do, because it's the truth and we're back together now. You're just in the way, so just get lost already. I just want you to know that Brian is here and is cracking up at all you're saying. What do you mean by that? I mean that Brian is laughing about you claiming that you and him got back together. His face is literally turning blue, he's laughing so much. Laughing at what? What are you even talking about? Brian is here with me right now. How can he be next to you? I'm sorry, but Brian is here with me, his wife. And we're actually on our honeymoon right now in Tahiti. What do you mean? I don't understand what's going on. It means that no matter how many times you tell me to leave Brian, it isn't going to happen. Anyways, we're going to be out of the country for a couple of weeks, so... So you two are really on your honeymoon right now. That's right, and Brian still hasn't stopped laughing at this business you just tried pulling. He remembered you well, but only as an old friend. Certainly not any kind of girlfriend. And the reason I knew you were lying about him meeting in a bar because he's sick after just getting a couple of drinks. Sure, we've had a few drinks here and there on vacation, but he would never drink to the point that he's saying things like what you said he did. Now, hold on just a second. This doesn't make any sense. How are you two going on your honeymoon when Brian has already taken me back? He's mine. He shouldn't be going on a honeymoon with you at all.
For the last time, Miranda, I'm not yours and we did not get back together. I don't know what fantasy world you've been living in, but you really need to wake up. But did you really think that I would ever want to get with a fussy woman like you? And some of the stuff you were saying was making me crack up so much that my stomach hurt. I mean, there was no way that you were being serious about that stuff, right?
How can you say something like that? I know that you're with your wife, so you have to be careful with what you say. But you confessed to me. You told me that you wanted to get together with me, and that's a fact.
Wait a second. What I told you was that I would always want to be your friend. You were the one who misconstrued that to mean that I wanted to date you.
You mean you just want to stay as friends?
But I don't get why you had to lie about you and I going out to get a drink. And yeah, I did reach out and invite you to a bar, but you left out the part where the rest of our middle school class was there. I invited everyone out to see if they'd want to catch up, but again, you totally warped what actually was happening.
No, this can't be happening.
And yeah, I had some drinks, but not many because I'm so weak. And because of that, I remember everything that happened that night. Though I will say that it was fun getting to hang out with everyone, and I was thinking about doing it more regularly. And yeah, we sat next to each other and talked, but I wasn't confessing my love to you.
But I could see the passion in your eyes. I could see all the memories we had come flooding back. That's when you knew that I was always the right girl for you. That's when you realized you were still madly in love with me.
No, not at all. How did you even get any of that out of what I was saying to you? I mean, we couldn't even get back together if I wanted to, because we were never even dating in the first place. I don't have any lingering feelings for you, because they were never there in the first place. We never, ever had any sort of romantic connection. So I got no idea what you've been talking about.
no, that can't be true. You're lying because you're with your wife.
I'm not at all. Even at the get-together, you were trying to tell me what to do, how to eat, to sit up straight. You're just acting like you used to, and all it did was get on my nerves.
But I was only doing all of that because we were dating, right? I mean, everyone in school said that we were like husband and a wife, remember?
That was just what dumb little kids say. I was never once under the impression that we were dating. I don't think I ever could date someone like you, to be honest.
But why not? I'm beautiful and loyal, and I'm always taking care of you.
That's just it. You think you're all those things, but I never saw what you were doing as helpful. I always thought that you were just being way too fussy. And I was prepared to maintain a friendship with you, but now I know that's going to be impossible. Now, as my wife explained to you, we're on our honeymoon and don't want any unnecessary distractions.
Don't think that you've beaten me yet, you ugly sow. I haven't even shown you what I can really do. I will make Brian mine, do you hear me? I know him better than anyone, and I will make him fall in love with me. What are you even talking about this time, Miranda? I mean that Brian said he was going to try and hang out with our old classmates. Well, I am going to be at every single one of those meetups, and I will steal your husband from you. Well, yes, he did say that he was going to try and make everyone hang out more often, but those plans have fallen, though. I'm afraid that you won't have any more chances to go after Brian anymore. What do you mean? Well, the plans fell through because Brian knocked me up while on our honeymoon. I decided to stop drinking when I started feeling weird while we were there. And I took a test when we got back home and it was positive. So you're pregnant with Brian's baby? That's right, and we're both overjoyed. But Brian reached out to his classmate and told them that he wouldn't be going out drinking while I'm pregnant. But all of his friends were very, very understanding and said that they can't wait till they can all hang out together another time. But this isn't fair. Why do you get to start a family with Brian while I'm just here, single? I don't know. That's probably something you should look inside yourself to find the answer to. Either do that or go talk to a therapist. I hate you! I never want to hear from you again. And I certainly never want to see you as long as I live. Deal. That actually sounds great to me, actually. Anyways, on that note, have a nice life. After that, I never ever heard from Miranda again. Brian, on the other hand, would still get messages from her asking if he wanted to go out and grab drinks with her. But he always told her that he wanted to be by my side in case I needed anything and avoided it that way. Brian even told me that Miranda started reaching to the other classmates, asking if they wanted to go out for a drink together. I hear she's basically blacklisted from any get-togethers now. Brian insists that she's a good person deep down, but just has a lot of issue. Frankly, I'm surprised that his heart is big enough to keep defending her. Either way, I just hope that one day Miranda wakes up and realizes the error of her ways. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.